Hey everybody, welcome to Leo and Lou Essential Oils Education Spices. We're going to talk about the spice oils today. I'm Jen, and this is kind of a little addendum to the 4-part series that I started in the month of May, covering basically the 4 different groups of oils. We talked about the florals, the trees and grasses, the roots, and the herbal oils, as well as the citrus oils. And once I started grouping them, I realized that really there were enough oils that could kind of be classified on their own as being spices. So here I am again to talk to you about those beautiful spice oils by doTERRA. I am a doTERRA wellness advocate, so these are the oils that I'm going to be talking about specifically today. And I mention that because, first of all, I'm not a medical professional. So this is all just my research and my what I found to work for me and my family. And I also want you to know that if you're shopping around at like a health food store and you see essential oils on the shelf, it may seem like a good idea to get those and use them in some of the ways that I'm going to talk about today. But I would advise you to do so very cautiously, because not all oils are created equally. These doTERRA oils are certified pure therapeutic grade, which means that they have gone through rigorous testing by doTERRA and outside third parties. So when I talk about using them internally, and all the spices that I'm going to talk about today are safe for internal use, I would not apply that statement necessarily to things that you might find at a health food store. So if you are interested in using the oils internally and enjoying the many benefits of that, get yourself some good quality oils like the ones from doTERRA. We have 8 singles that I'm going to talk to y'all about today. All of them, like I said, are safe for internal use. Several of them, as you could infer, since they're spice oils, would be considered hot oils or warm oils. And I did a little post on that a while back, and I'm going to post that information again once we're done with the session today. Basically what that means is that if you put the oil, one of the hot oils, on your skin is likely going to react in a sensitive manner. It's different from the oils being photosensitive. Remember when we talked about the citrus oils, pretty much all of them are photosensitive, which means that if they see sunlight, they're going to react, and if they're on your skin in the sunlight, you'll have a burn. This is a little bit different than that. This is basically just like your skin cells reacting to the spiciness of the chemicals in these oils. So, and when I say chemicals, I mean naturally occurring chemicals. These oils are just pure essence of plant. There's nothing added to them synthetically. So use caution when you're using these spice oils topically. I always dilute with fractionated coconut oil if I'm going to use oils topically. Definitely when using with children, you should dilute even more. But diluting the oil doesn't take away its power. It just allows it a slower absorption into your skin. And that being said, if you happen to get one of these hot oils on your skin, your first reaction might be to wipe it with a towel or put water on it. Don't do that. That's counterproductive. The way that you cool your skin down if you've got one of these hot oils on your skin is actually to add a fatty oil like a coconut oil or olive oil, and that will help the tingling sensation subside. So that's my first kind of like warning for using the spice oils topically. When used carefully, they're wonderful. So you just got to know how to use them, and that's what I'm here to tell y'all about. When, again, I was looking at the spice oils and knowing that some of them were considered hot and warm oils, I was surprised to see that the category that all of them fall into is a restorative or soothing category. So it seems counterintuitive, I guess, because they're hot and spicy by nature, especially like on your skin or when you taste them. But to your system, they're soothing and restorative. I was thinking about the word restoration last night, and the way that it made sense to me was when you're restoring, you're building up your storage again. So perhaps there's something to that, like lighting a fire in the home of your body. I'm not sure, but I'm curious to see what your input is on that. So We're going to get started, and the first two oils that I'm going to talk to you about are part of doTERRA's Harmony collection. This was the Harmony collection. This was a set that was put together around Mother's Day as a Mother's Day gift. However, it is still available, so I thought it was pertinent to talk about them because 2 out of the 3 oils in the kit are spice oils, and they're beautiful and they're really unique and do a lot of wonderful things. So we're going to start with those 2, and if you want more info on the Harmony collection, just let me know. It is still available. And the third oil in that collection is green mandarin, which smells like starburst, and I love it. So without further ado, let's get started talking about star anise or anise. It's very licorice-like in scent or anise-like in scent, and again, it is available only in that Harmony collection, which you can still get. Anise actually comes from the fruit, the leaf. The oil actually comes from the fruit, the leaf, and the seed of the star anise plant, which the ancient Chinese cultures refer to it as 8 horns because of the shape of the star. And what it makes it smell like licorice is a chemical component called anethole. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But that gives it the characteristic licorice aroma that you're going to smell. And you can use this one aromatically, topically, and internally. I'm using it aromatically right now, just smelling it. Some of the benefits of star anise: it can promote a healthy cellular function. It is an immune system supporter. You can take it internally to support digestive health, and it's actually in Digest Zen, which is my miracle oil. So it can calm an upset stomach. And if you take it internally, not only does it calm your stomach, but it calms and soothes your nervous system. It can be grounding and balancing. And it also is really helpful in supporting the cardiovascular system too. A lot of times what I noticed when these oils are made mention of the fact that they're digestively supportive, I noticed that the cardiovascular benefits were not far behind, and that was a cool connection for me personally to make because, you know, a lot of doctors, even Western medical doctors, refer to the gut as the second brain. So the brain, the heart, the stomach, I feel like it's all connected, and keeping your digestive system healthy means that your heart is healthy, and it also means that your mouth is healthy. So all these things are really connected. We're going to talk more about mouth health later, but I thought that was interesting. The digestive and cardiovascular benefits are very closely linked. And and this is star anise. Let's see, was there anything else? I think that's just about it with star anise. This is supposed to be one of the most powerful digestive oils out there, even more so than fennel. So that's star anise. And its Latin name is Illicium verum. I don't know anything about that. I didn't connect it to any other plants. You know, it looks similar to like a clove bud, but it's kind of on a class of its own. So there's star anise. The second part of the Harmony collection is one of my surprise favorites, pink pepper. This has a really unusual aroma. I feel like you can smell the pink. It's a little spicy, but it smells just really clean. I really enjoy the smell of this pink pepper. And pink pepper is obviously closely related to black pepper. Its scientific name is Chinus mola, whereas the black pepper's name is Piper nigrum. So they are 2 totally different plants, not just 2 different colors. And the pink pepper oil comes from the fruit, the actual little pink berries that grow on the plant. It does have a lot of limonene in it, and when we talked about citrus oils being both like uplifting and kind of soothing as well, that was the chemical that did that, and pink pepper has a lot of limonene in it. It supports an immune, digestive, and respiratory system, and it's also relaxing to the nervous system, just like the star anise. The mola is the pink peppercorn tree, and it's actually closely related to cashews, which I didn't know. So last week we talked about jasmine being a relative of the olive family, and today my surprise family connection is that pink pepper is related to cashew. Who would have thunk it? So it supports a healthy metabolism and a healthy immune system, as well as healthy cellular function, just like the star anise. It can help calm the nervous system when you take it internally. You can also inhale it to help feel more alert, and that does actually work. And I just love pink pepper. Again, this is a potentially hot oil, so use it with caution if you're going to dilute it topically. Make sure you put some fractionated coconut oil if you want to add it to your wrists or anything. But it's wonderful in a diffuser, and the cool thing about the Harmony collection is that it came with this book, which has all these different recipes for diffusing in it. And you can say, do you want your smell to feature star anise? Do you want your smell to feature pink pepper or green mandarin? And you've got a bunch of ideas in the book it came with. Hey, Cynthia, good to see you. I know you really were excited about the star anise. What had you read about star anise being like specifically potent for? I remember you said something about it. Tell me what you learned about star anise, because you knew something that I didn't know. We're learning from one another. So that's pink pepper. I'm going to wait for Cynthia to reply, and I'll get back to y'all with what she says. So pink pepper, closely related to black pepper. Black pepper also is, the oil comes from the fruit or the berry of the actual Piper nigrum plant. It's a soothing oil because of its sesquiterpenes. Remember, those were the ones that were less volatile than the monoterpenes. So I guess they hang out longer. The black pepper oil is effective to the digestive and the nervous system as well. This is a hot oil. And it really does, it has, I don't know, maybe I'm synesthetic. I can smell the color. It smells blacker to me. But it also has that clean smell. It really doesn't smell spicy like you would think about pepper being in your food, but it is. Tobacco is a wonderful oil for treating addiction, specifically to tobacco. There is, on my Instagram a long time ago, I posted a recipe for quit sticks, which involved soaking some toothpicks in fractionated coconut oil along with black pepper and clove to help people quit smoking. So that's a really good use for black pepper. I take this every day because it is not only a very powerful antioxidant, all of these little, like, the oils that come from all those teeny little berries are very good antioxidants, clove being the most powerful of them. It also enhances your circulation, it helps in digestion, and it's an anti-anxiety. So when I wrote that down, it seemed interesting to me that it makes your circulation go faster or more efficiently, but it helps calm you down. So maybe it's just working on like the actual blood and not like the circulation in your anxious brain. I don't know. But that's black pepper. Emotionally, black pepper is the oil of unmasking. It helps people get real. And if you're feeling trapped or superficial, it can help you restore your integrity. And I love that about black pepper, because one of the feelings that I get when I start to feel anxious is that I feel disconnected from reality, and I feel like there are things around me that are superficial. So I love that black pepper works on that also. This is a really powerful one for me. However, instinctively, when I'm on my cycle, which I just finished, I tend to avoid it. I don't know why. And I would invite you to take that approach when you're using your oils as well. If there's an oil that basically is saying like, leave me alone, I would pay attention to that. Maybe I don't need the extra circulation or the extra digestion at that time. I don't know. There are other oils that help with anxiety, so I just rely on those. But for some reason, I just stay away from this when I'm on my cycle. So if there are any oils that speak to you in that way, I'd be interested to hear. Because I definitely think using our intuition when we're using these gifts of nature is really important, because we come from nature. And if we're really in tune with what nature's offering us, it's not everything all the time. It can't be everything all the time. So pay attention to what your body is telling you and take note of it too. So that was black pepper. All right, next we're going to jump into cardamom. And this next little set, we're going to talk about cardamom and ginger because they are actually closely related. And I brought down my cardamom seeds to show you because I make my own elderberry syrup, and I got these from some spice market, but this is what a dried cardamom seed actually looks like. And I put them along with cinnamon bark and actual clove while I'm steeping the berries, and they get really soft and they've got tiny little seeds on the inside of them. They're not very aromatic right now, but that's what cardamom actually looks like. And cardamom comes from the Zingiberaceae, or ginger family. They actually get the essential oil from steaming the seeds, and it's a restorative oil because of its ethers, which are monoterpenes. It affects the digestive and the respiratory system, and that's why I use it for the elderberry syrup for respiratory support. But I love that it helps in digestion also because, again, healthy gut is healthy body. Cardamom is antibacterial, anti-infectious, so again, helpful at keeping that immune system supported. It's also anti-inflammatory. It is an expectorant, which means it helps you break up any congestion that you might have. A stomachic, which means it supports the stomach. And it's also an aphrodisiac. Hey Keith, good to see you on here. So that's cardamom. Cardamom is such a beautiful, I'm down to the end of it. It's a really, it's very aromatic in its oil form. And when I inhale it, I can feel it actually like helping me breathe a little bit easier. That's cardamom. And cardamom is actually in the Breathe blend. If you have the Breathe blend by doTERRA, which I love, cardamom is one of the main ingredients for that respiratory support as well. So while cardamom benefits the digestive and respiratory system, its cousin ginger supports the digestive and nervous system. Oh, let's see, Cynthia. Okay. She's saying in Latin America, people drink anise tea after dinner because of its digestive properties, and she was drinking it. She used to boil dried chamomile flowers and star anise and add it to a bottle with breast milk when the kids were infants and having tummy discomfort. Okay. Okay, thank you, Cynthia. Thanks for that lesson. I knew you had a connection to anise, so thank you for sharing. So she was saying that rather than go through the trouble of like steeping the seeds and making the tea, now that you have the oil, it's super convenient because you just can dilute it in a little bit of coconut oil, rub it on the infant's tummy, and it soothes them also. So since it is safe for internal use, generally we don't give kids internal oils until they're about 10 years old, but topically is a fabulous way to administer that. And certainly I would rather, personally, this is my personal choice, I would give my kid a tiny, tiny, tiny dose of essential oil over some random pharmaceutical. That's just me. Use with caution though, and let your physicians know what you're doing. Okay, so back to ginger. So ginger, the Latin name is different than the cardamom. It's Zingiber officinale, but they're still related. And again, they both support the digestive system, but ginger is actually more of a nervous system support as opposed to the respiratory support. I fell in love with ginger this winter because my wonderful acupuncturist, who also uses doTERRA, I kept going in to see her and complaining that my feet and extremities were cold. Well, I mean, it is colder here in the Pacific Northwest. I'm in long sleeves in June. And one of the things she suggested to me was just like a quick foot massage with a couple drops of ginger and some fractionated coconut oil just to rub on my toes in the morning. And I began doing that and it really helped. It warmed up my toes and I feel like it really benefited my whole system as well. So that's one of my favorite ways to use ginger. It's spicy. It smells like ginger. There's also like a fuzziness to it that's really inviting. I really enjoy this smell. This is considered a warm oil, so it's not going to react as potently as like the pepper and certainly like the cassia that we're about to talk about, but you should definitely use caution when using it topically. You can take it internally, absolutely, to fight nausea and indigestion. It's also a laxative and an antiseptic. And in history, in ancient Egyptian time, in the ancient Egyptian world, they used to cook with it a lot to ward off epidemics. So it was highly protective for the ancient Egyptians. And in Chinese medicine, they use it in tonics to strengthen the heart and relieve head congestion. So I thought that was interesting too. I know very, very little about Chinese medicine, but I love that this oil is so diverse. And it is a root, so any of those roots, remember when we talked about the trees, are going to be really grounding for you emotionally also. Speaking of emotions, emotionally, it's the oil of empowerment. It helps you become fully present and participate in life and have a warrior, not victim mentality. I forgot to tell you all about cardamom though. Let's go back to that because this is important. Emotionally, the cardamom is the oil of objectivity. So it helps you maintain self-control and mental sobriety. If you're feeling frustrated or angry and dealing with others, cardamom can help with that. So it's a little bit more soothing there, where the ginger is a little bit more invigorating, even though it's considered a soothing oil. They just are very complex. What can I say? So that's ginger. So those two are related. Now we're going to go into another set, cassia and cinnamon. And then I apologize, I do not have cinnamon oil. When I looked at both of them, they're very closely related, and I decided to get cassia. So that's what I have. And I'm going to tell you about the differences between the two of them, but I just don't have a bottle to show you. But cassia and cinnamon both come from the laurel family. Cassia is Cinnamonium cassia, and cinnamon is Cinnamonium zeylanicum. So they're both basically the same plant. They both come from the bark of their plant, and they're both extremely hot. I made the mistake of getting cassia in the bath one night. My lady parts were not thanking me. So be very careful when you're using your cassia and your cinnamon. They're probably they, along with oregano, are probably some of the hottest oils out there. Cassia is a restoring oil, so is cinnamon. Cassia has aldehydes, and so does cinnamon, which are monoterpenes, but the chemicals are different. So the aldehydes in cassia are cinnamaldehyde, which also cinnamon has, and cinnamyl acetate. Cinnamon has the cinnamaldehyde, but it has eugenol. I don't know what that means yet. I think that's going to be my next task, is tackling the actual organic chemistry of it. But just to show you that there are chemical parts of them that are very similar, and then there are differences also. That's why there are two different oils. But you don't have to have all the oils. Find one that kind of, speaks to you and works for what you want it to work for. Cassia is not recommended for use during pregnancy. However, it is safe to take internally if you're not pregnant. It affects the cardiovascular, immune, and metabolic systems. And cinnamon affects the immune and metabolic systems, but not the cardiovascular system. So that's another difference. So maybe that was why I chose it. I'm not sure. Cassia emotionally is the oil of self-assurance. It helps you feel glad and courageous, and it dispels fear. Cinnamon is a natural insect repellent, where cassia really is not. So that's one of the differences in there. And cinnamon is in the On Guard blend, which y'all have heard me talk about a lot. It's my desert island oil because it really is like the ass kicker of anything cruddy and bad that you don't want anymore. This is your oil right here. It's got wild orange, clove, which we're going to talk about, cinnamon leaf, cinnamon bark, and then eucalyptus and rosemary. So they chose cinnamon for On Guard because it's probably because of its high immune boosting properties. I had a quote for y'all from my Modern Essentials Encyclopedia about cinnamon that I wanted to say. Where is it? Let's see. This oil may be beneficial for circulation, colds, coughs, digestion, exhaustion, flu, infections, rheumatism, and warts. This is the sentence that I really liked. This oil fights viral and infectious diseases, and testing has yet to find a virus, bacteria, or fungus that can survive in its presence. So I'll read that again. Testing has yet to find a virus, bacteria, or fungus that can survive in the presence of cinnamon oil. So that's how powerful it is. Again, this is not a doTERRA book. That is just how amazing a high quality cinnamon oil is. And emotionally, cinnamon essential oil is the oil of sexual harmony. It supports the reproductive systems. It helps you embrace your own attractiveness. It dispels fear of rejection, and it helps you release jealousy and control. So that's cinnamon. And I'm sorry I don't have a bottle to show you, but I chose Cassia. I'm a gal on a budget. That's the one I have. Last but not least of the single oils is clove. I first started using cloves. Hey, Carla. This might be good for you to hear too. Clove is commonly used as teething aid for teething babies because it is numbing to the gums and it is safe to take internally. It comes from the Myrtaceae family, which I think is related to the myrtles, and they use the actual bud of the clove. Y'all know what clove buds look like. They're round, and sometimes you stick them in oranges around Christmas time. From the bud and the little stem. And it's a restoring oil. It's high in phenols, which are monoterpenes, and it is one of the most powerful antioxidants out there, more powerful than blueberries. So it's really helpful for the heart. It's anti-infectious, antifungal, and anti-tumor. And again, being an antioxidant, it obviously supports the cardiovascular system, as well as the digestive system, the respiratory system, and the immune system. So if your baby's teething, depending on the baby's age, 1 drop in a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil, a tablespoon, the big kind, okay? So that's a pretty significant dilution. Rubbed on the baby's gums, wherever they're having the teething pain, will naturally numb the gum, and it does all those other things. So it's going to fight any possible infections. It's going to help them, as they slowly absorb it, digest a little bit better. Breathe a little bit better if they start getting stuffy around the time that they're teething. So that's why I love clove oil, and this is a wonderful oil for all mamas to have on hand. It is a hot oil, which is why it's recommended to be diluted pretty significantly, okay? Let's see what else. Emotionally, it's the oil of boundaries. Like the ginger, it helps people let go of the victim mentality. It helps you reconnect yourself to your personal integrity and build appropriate boundaries. It gives pushovers the power to say no. And it helps heal childhood pain and trauma, which I thought was interesting since we talked about it, helping babies with the teething, which is sort of dramatic for them. Clove is also found in the On Guard blend, and I really love it in the On Guard toothpaste because all of these spice oils are really good for mouth and gum health. Hey, Rebecca, nice to see you here. So even though I wouldn't recommend giving the On Guard toothpaste to a small baby, if you're wanting to keep your teeth and gums healthy, it's a fabulous oil for that. I had a tooth infection like 2 years ago, and I was so glad that I had my Clove and my On Guard because not only did it help fight the infection that I was having, it numbed that area. The Clove did, which is really nice too. Rather than put, again, some random pharmaceutical in my mouth, I'd rather use something that also helps me digest and breathe and my heart beat better. So that's Clove. And those are all my spice oils. I talked to y'all about the On Guard blend because that did have the clove and the cinnamon in it. And another blend that has a lot of these spice oils in it is Passion, the Passion blend. It's got cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, clove, and then sandalwood and jasmine and damiana. So this is a great oil to not only reconnect with any kind of intimate passions that you might want to be using on like a date night scenario, but also the passion for your own life and feeling confident and self-assured in yourself and like a warrior and healthy and strong of heart. That's a beautiful blend for that. And that just about wraps it up for Essential Oils Education Spice Oils. I haven't put together any curricula for June, so I'd love to hear your feedback. What would y'all like to talk about? Would you like to talk more about the organic chemistry of the oils? Would you like to talk more about digestion or babies? I welcome your suggestion, and I'm here to serve you and help you provide natural solutions for your family because it's a wonderful option and it's a wonderful thing to be able to offer. I think so anyway. If you still haven't, get your hands on that Harmony collection before they sell out. Remember, that's the only way to get the pink pepper and the anise along with the green mandarin. And if you need help with that, Just drop me a comment there too. Thanks for joining me here on Leo and Lou, everybody, and I'll see y'all soon. Happy oiling, everybody. Bye.